Candlelight danced over their faces, hiding liars beneath silk and smiles. My spouse sat at my right, her manicured hand on mine, her skin cold as ice. My brother offered me a vintage scotch he wasn't fond of, toasting me. At the other end of the table, my closest companions, my best man, business partner, college roommate, nodded, raised their glasses, and watched me with anticipation, much like an unexpected plot twist in some disturbing reality show. Come on, mate, Julian slurred slightly. It's the 2020s. You're intelligent, mature. You can manage this. Manage what? That my wife, the one who had wept in my arms about trust issues, had been having an affair with my brother for half a year, and they were all aware? It was then that I looked up, met the head waiter's gaze, and subtly nodded. He started towards the kitchen. None of them noticed, but my wife did. Her face paled before her wine glass even hit the table. Claire and I first crossed paths in law school. She harbored ambition within her bones and tempests brewed behind her gaze. We constructed mutual bonds during late-night sessions over takeout, exchanging study materials as if they were secrets, sketching our futures on whiteboards and upon scattered coffee grounds. Upon her passing the bar, I proposed. She consented prior to my completion of the question. We relocated into a humble condominium. I labored extended hours, expanding my law firm. She transitioned into corporate litigation. We appeared as equals, or so it seemed. My brother Damien lacked the same tenacity. He was born fortunate, a golden child, endowed with charisma, wealth, and a real estate dynasty. He never faltered at anything because there was always someone to rectify his mistakes. We tolerated each other, maintaining appearances for family gatherings and holiday photographs. Claire despised the world that Damien inhabited, or that's what she confided in me. He's arrogant, she remarked once. A facade of confidence. Ironically, this plastic confidence found its way into our bed when I was at trial in Chicago. It began with subtle changes. She ceased sending me goodnight messages. Her scent changed. Instead of cotton shirts, she opted for silk nightgowns and restricted interactions to mere mechanical affection. One evening, I unexpectedly returned home. Her computer displayed a message preview in the corner. Let's meet at the penthouse next time. The sender remained unnamed, but I recognized the penthouse. It belonged to Damien. I chose not to confront her immediately, observing and gathering information first. She grew careless. He wore a tie I had given her for our anniversary, and she found his jokes amusing excessively when they targeted me. At Thanksgiving dinner, I noticed the glances she exchanged with him when she believed I was asleep. So, I smiled, kissed her forehead, and formulated a plan. The initial step was to isolate. I froze our joint accounts, mentioning dubious activity. She failed to notice that I had always handled our finances. Next, I sought information by enlisting a friend from law school, now a digital forensics expert. He copied her phone data while she slept. I scrutinized the messages, photographs, and voice notes. They referred to me as the anchor. I thought I was uneventful instead of thrilling. I would never abandon, regardless of the circumstances. She considered me routine, predictable. Later, I adjusted my will, subtly altered business documents. Acquired Julian's shares in the company through a shell corporation. Transferred Damien's silent partnership percentage to a legal trust with an ethics violation clause. Then came the dinner. Invited everyone. Claimed it was for my birthday. A secluded room at the Ritz. I footed the bill. The waitstaff? Undercover investigators, former cops. Cameras hidden, legal supervision present. Every uttered word captured. The evening started with compliments, humor, drinks. Then Damien, smugly, proposed we should make honesty the norm in relationships. Claire tightened her grip on her glass. That's when they struck. One by one, like a rehearsed betrayal. All agreed monogamy was obsolete. Emily, my wife's confidant, suggested open conversation, as if we were grown-ups. I pretended to be unaware. Why are you asking? Claire cleared her throat and suggested a less confined approach. At that point, I signaled to the waiter. 3 men arrived. One put a file before Damien, another delivered one to Claire, and the third positioned a laptop and pressed play. Her voice echoed through the room. He's just a boy with a purse, pretending to maintain our home. Damien attempted to rise, but I instructed him to remain seated. You've signed legally binding financial disclosures, I whispered. The trust, I explained, would transfer your shares to me if you exhibited unethical conduct within the company. He paused. Claire unfolded her file. Divorce papers, with supporting documentation like photographs and statements. Her signature had been pre-signed in a drunken email months prior, making it admissible and legal. To Julian, I declared, your employment here is terminated. Check your email. Systematically, I dismantled each one of them. Finally, Claire murmured, why? Why didn't you speak up earlier? I gazed at her. I don't shout when someone burns down my house, I said. I will reassemble elsewhere, devoid of fire starters. Damien grasped his glass. Perhaps some water would be beneficial, I suggested. The board has been informed. You'll depart by Monday. He regarded me as if he had brought a spoon to a battlefield. They believed silence equated weakness. It did not. It signified strategy. I observed them exiting that restaurant like rats abandoning a sinking ship that night. Claire messaged without remorse, merely stating we should have communicated. I blocked her. Betrayal is an art. Yet so is retaliation. And mine was masterfully displayed in their defeat. I no longer celebrate my birthday. However, I do recollect the expression on her face when the servers entered. It was the instant she comprehended her loss. And I hadn't even raised my voice.